I don't think they're gonna like complete hard Sui, but I expect them to sandbag and maybe cheese a couple spots after shocking. But we'll see. Here we go. Coconut Mall coming out.
And we go. I believe we had a 1-3-5 like odd spot start in Spain, so the spots of the room are pretty even, not like really one-sided. We're gonna have Mio starting off with a golden around 8th. He's gonna be goldening up, probably running into first. Gonna see if he can run this race out with any blues, without any blues.
Yeah, just making sure we're synced. I'm at 30 seconds.
All right, I'm done. I'm about 10 seconds behind.
Okay, I think you're looking at the other stream. I'm looking at Mio's stream right now. Miomega. So right now, already a top 2 coming out, and as expected, Mio and Pascal running in top 2, and they have a little bit of separation from third. Maybe they can keep back spamming and widen that gap a little bit more. Ooh, oh, and Mio actually kind of slow to react to that banana. I think in that case, just either try to go left side on the upstairs escalator, or just, I don't know. That was a little bit of a slow reaction, but still top 2 coming out. We might see another backspam from Mio, unless that's actually Swiss Sauce in third.
Yeah, we got top 2 coming out from them. Look, no info on shock right now.
It's hard to say because they are all running in this case, but I would have to assume that maybe Swiss Sauce have it in this case. Because, I mean, I think the bagger for Swiss Sauce was going a little bit too close to the pack there, in my opinion. I'd say. I think, especially in CM, after you fall off that last boost panel ramp, there's no other way to go back. So now it's just going to be 50-50 in the shocks. That POW kind of kills Mio a little bit. Gets started.
We're going to see if there's going to be any shock to help any of the teams recover from this. Oh, that's bad.
What would you do here for Spain if you had the shock? Actually,
I would probably try to get first, like after the last ramp, because if Spain's in second, that's going to be really strong. Getting first after that last ramp.
Okay, and there's a shot coming in, actually dodging Franco. He's gonna be. Oh no, he actually I think hit the car in that scenario, so he wasn't able to. Oh no, he passes Saru regardless. So solid race coming out there for Swiss Sauce to start. Sorry that we weren't in sync that whole race.
Make sure you're on VLC. Good.
Yeah, I can't. For some reason, it's not opening for me on VLC. I'll try again. Okay, there we go. It's working now.
All right, we're good then. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry guys. We were like out of sync that race, so I was trying my best to fix the issue.
Yeah, I was ahead. I was looking on the Twitch, but then the VLC in which we were both looking at the same time, it wasn't working for me that race.
We got a top 2 579 coming out from Swiss Austria.
Yeah, so not too bad. I thought it might have been a stronger race there because they were, for the most part, they were top 3, but a couple of errors coming out from Mio there kind of killed the momentum a little bit. It was him running into the banana after the first ramp, and then the POW. A little bit of an unfortunate POW dodge fail though, because he was approaching the ramp and like he was gonna get POW'd into the wall. So he had a hard time readjusting to that POW, but regardless, still a decent race for Swiss Sauce, and they're gonna get whose pick was this? Is Koopa Cape?
Koopa Cape looks like Spain's. Doing my best to decipher. If I'm not paying attention to the actual track screen, I gotta do my best at trying to decipher German Mario Kart tracks.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand some German. I just didn't know whose track pick it was in the beginning. So Koopa Cape coming out here for Spain. Let's see how well they can break the momentum.
And Koopa Cape is really a course that can come down to that first set because, as I said yesterday, it's really a course that only has 2 real item sets. Or you could say 3. And looks like there's gonna be a back bomb on the first. After the first
yeah,
set.
I think that was on a Spain player, if I'm not mistaken. And I think somebody hit a back spam and someone dropped a red, and it was a bit of a domino effect there. I think that favors Swiss Austria. I think it was 2 Spain players getting caught in that.
Yeah, and Swiss Austria is 2-3-5 after that red, a little farther behind. So Spain not out of it yet, despite all of that domino effect.
Yeah.
This course can tend to really have those domino effects though, because there's just such a split in like after that first set, you really like have to go out of your way for an item. It doesn't feel that good. It's a lot more running course.
Oh.
You got a back bomb with
Yeah,
the
especially in the tunnel section or the pipe section. If a ground item gets dropped like right on your face, it's hard to avoid. Narrow path. But But yeah, I was gonna piggyback off something you said earlier. Not too many sets. That means not too many blues. And I think the person in first right now is someone from Swiss Aus. So he's gonna be sitting pretty for now. I don't know. There's a lot of Spain in the mid pack though, so expect a blue coming out sometime later in the race.
Mia's gonna be sitting here in 8th, probably trying to pull a dodge. Might not hold on to it for too long because Koopa Cape is a really it's a really stalemate bagging course normally because there's not many rocks that come up and they just kind of sit there.
And Dmitry did go back though, so he's going to be contesting with Zach for the shock. There doesn't look to me like anybody has it right now, but if it's shockless, so far it'll favor Swiss Aus. We do see Mio opting to hold his star though.
Looks like we have 3 Swiss Austria in the bottom 3, I believe. So they're pretty far back there. Oh, we got a star, and that's most likely Swiss Austria shock.
Yeah, TSing I think 2.
Amazing.
TSing 2 Spain players. That was a really good shock there coming in.
Swiss Austria looks like it's going to be pretty hard. They're going to need a lot of blue luck to have Spain try to recover this race.
Right, but I don't think they're probably only going to pull 1 blue maximum, if anything. But Pascal already has a huge break regardless.
Yeah.
Did he get bumped the bagger? I think. Wow.
Oh, actually, we had a blue come to Pascal. Looks like he was trying to slow down in time. But the blue can be a little deceiving because of how like the blue like tracks in the waterfall, the warning you get.
Yeah. In that case, if you're Pascal, I understand the intention. Mio does have a mega in second, but Pascal was already so far away to a point where slowing down there is just really risky. And at that point, I think Pascal just has to keep driving.
I think we had around a 2-3 or 2-3-4 coming out from Spain there from what I saw at the end in the replay. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, not a bad salvage at all for Spain, considering that the shock was absolutely detrimental to them.
Let's see if we get him. Results about to show up in a few seconds. And that's 1-4-6-7 coming out for Swiss Austria, so close race.
Yeah, only +1 for Swiss Aus. They're going to be disappointed from that one, even though they did win the race. I mean, it could have been much more for them.
For 1-4, they might try to pull out TF because, you know, exactly, if you start off 1-4 in TF, it's basically a top 2, as long as you don't mess up the draft.
Right. TF is a bit of an anomaly with 1-4, though. Some teams opt to go for it since it is 1-4. It's a prominent track for 1-4. But at the same time, some teams opt to wait until they're top 2-4 or 1-3-4, because if something happens to first or fourth, it essentially just resets everything. So we're gonna have to depend on, or they're gonna have to depend on 1-4 to keep their spots.
Looks like we got Toad's Factory coming out for them. So we're going to see if they can get that draft. To know if first is going to go for the box. You can have a toss-up if you want first, going for the box and like keeping the top 2 safe, or if you want first, like going tight and trying to get that little more.
If you're just occupying 1-4, it is risky, but just have first get the tight box and then fourth draft and go tight. It is going to give the other team a second box on the left though, so that could have potential to change. Q does get that box, I think, and drafts as well, or either or.
Yeah, that's a nice draft in the top 2 for Pascal and Mio. It looks like they're yeah, Spain is all running this race. It's only Zach back there. TF can be a really hard track to all run for the simple fact that TF is a really good lap 2 shock track in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And lap 2 shocks can be really detrimental to all running. We're going to see what happens there. Looks like Zach's also going to go forward a bit to see if he can pull shock and maybe like cheese and chain a few bills. And
that was a really close Nana snipe attempt from Aleeex there, just barely to the right there. That would have changed the entire race around had that connected, but still a top 2 coming out for Swiss Aus, looking very solid right now.
Yep, I'm just trying to keep my eye on Zach to see if I can like see his like funky like shrimming or building up the mini map. See if he's got shock or not. Looks like right now he's going to be shrimming. Oh, yeah, that's a blue for Pascal.
Yeah, that was close. Sometimes it can be hard to coordinate blues if they're really sudden and both of the team are right next to each other. But Pascal going ultra wide there and Mio keeping his tight line. Good coordination from them not to kill each other.
Looks like Swiss Austria is 1-3-4. I would guess they're holding shock by now. I haven't seen Zach really like using anything on the map. Looks like he's shrimming. So don't know if they're gonna try to just hold it. Maybe they have someone back there in a dodge, or they're gonna try to dodge after their 1-3-4 passes. We'll see what happens.
And the onus now is on Aleeex just to try to back Swiss Sauce, and I think he gets one back to him just based on the fact that Swiss Sauce spun out in third. Blue comes in right after the ramp.
Oh, that's a really unfortunate shock.
Do you know whose shock that was? I think that might have been Swiss Sauce. Do you think that was a Swiss Sauce shock, right?
Yeah, I believe they were trying to cancel blue. This is really it was unfortunate that the blue just got him right after the ramp. I thought it was gonna be a purple blue. I believe it's a top 3-6, if I can see right for.
Yeah,
top 3-6
it was. It looked like Spain was going to salvage like a neutral race, especially since I think I wasn't sure what happened in the middle of the pack, but I think Aleeex got a backspam onto one of the Swiss Sauce players. But then that shock again just completely changed things around, and that's the problem with all running.
Oh, so top tier coming out for Swiss Austria. They could go things like BCW, Boonview, anything that keeps the top spots going. I wonder if Spain's going to keep on all running from here after that bad race. TF's a pretty hard course to all run on.
Yeah, and BCW, prominent top 3 spot track, because you can take all the first 3 boxes in the beginning, makes it hard for the other team to spam items.
Looks like Peach Garden's coming out from Spain. Good to really good to disperse the spots. If you don't coordinate. Yep. So if you don't coordinate, this course really everybody will stop at the first set. Really, I'd say it's a course that like the starting spots matter the least on. So this is a good
but it's not good for everyone to stop. Usually you want to have only one person stop for like a dodge, and then the other bagger kind of just slow down, not hard stop, and try to get like a 5th or 6th place set of triple shrooms. We'll see what happens here, though. Let's see who's starting out more aggressive. Yeah, Swiss Sauce goes 3 run to start, though, in top 4. Usually not what you want. You want to have Mio maybe drop for like a 6th place box in that scenario.
Looks like Spain is fucked 4 of Spain in the bottom 5. I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know how Spain weren't able to get up there. I think I don't know how. They might have gotten killed early on by something. I'm not sure what happened. I'm surprised they weren't able to shroom up to the front of the pack there.
Swiss Austria also holding both the shock spots, so this means that they're pretty much like guaranteed to get it at this point. At least like
and if you're Q, just drop at this point, hard drop. But I'm not sure if he's gonna do so. Maybe he's holding something. Maybe he's already holding a star or anything. But I'd still drop if I were Q in this scenario.
If you're Q in this scenario, you need to both drop just in case either 9th place has a shock or has a star, because what you need to do is you need to make sure that like the 4th person, you need to make sure that this person like can't dodge, like if they're just gonna be sitting in 9th the whole race. Right.
Even if you don't pull the shock in 9th, you at least try to get the dodges out of Swiss Sauce in that case.
He ends up hitting Mio with a few reds, so that's gonna keep him back a bit. But Spain just holding too many of these bottom spots. They're not good. These aren't really good bottom spots. These are mid-pack spots. They're not going to get any. It's going to be really hard for them to pull a good goldens or shrooms.
Did you catch who was first?
I did not see, but
I think still Pascal, huh? Pascal.
Oh, remember Swiss Austria shot? Nope. They're just chaining. They might be trying to use this last second, or maybe they don't have it yet. I don't know.
It's highly possible.
That's shrimming or billing in last. Actually, I don't think they don't have it yet. He's stopping at boxes. Pascal is going to pull a Mega after his TC, but there's no shock still from Zach. He's shrimming through. So Swiss Austria unable to find the shock despite like being in that bottom 2 for a lot of the race. He's going to come back in his last set. He's going to get a shot from the last set. Yeah.
And that is a Spain player in first. At first, I thought it was one of the Swiss Sauce players. Saru coming up, starring his teammate in the process, though, unfortunately.
I believe that's a 2-3-5-7 from Swiss Austria. 2-3-5-7-10, around that.
Yeah. And that was Q getting in first there. I think, yeah, he was able to chain something. He might have chained like a golden or triple shrooms at lap 2. That's how he was able to get back up to the front. Right before the shock, he was able to get up to first.
Yeah, that race was definitely just, if you're in a position where you're all running, you really need to make sure that you are controlling 8th and 9th. Either having yourself there, hoarding a dodge, or making sure that the other team, which has one less runner, is going to be, they can't like hold dodges the whole time. Spain wasn't able to do that. They just kind of clouded themselves up in the impact areas. They still ended up getting a decent race, but they weren't able to take advantage of that one person running. I hope they're going to be able to do that in the upcoming GPs if they keep all running.
Definitely. And what's the score? Do you have the score line here?
I believe on Steam it says 141-103.
Okay. So, yeah, 38-point lead coming out for Swissaus. It was expected, but we'll see how well Swissaus can maintain that lead. There were a couple of times in that GP where Spain were able to change the momentum around. So if they could keep doing that, and instead of starting off in bottom spots and changing the momentum and getting mid spots, let's see if they can start to get up there and start to run a little bit more. As I said before, Francis and Aleeex are not too bad of runners, but we're gonna have to make sure that they're gonna have to make sure that they stay up in the front. They get up to the front early and then stay up there rather than coming up from the back.
Thankfully, this doesn't seem to be as much of a blowout from yesterday, both in terms of score and in the fact that there's a little more Spain in the front I can see today.
Yeah.
Again, odd spots for Spain, even spots for Swiss Austria. It's kind of hard to coordinate spots for like the 1-3-5. They're gonna have Delfino on Spain's side and Bowser Castle 64 on Swiss Austria's side. We're gonna get Delfino. Delfino's I'd say like similar to Peach Gardens. It's kind of a course that like the first set it kind of dissipates the pack. We're gonna see which team's gonna coordinate what and who's gonna try to stay in the bottom spots for those stars and golds.
Yeah, so we saw Swissaus starting off Peach Gardens really aggressively. I'm interested to see how they start off this time. I think Spain none of them got the bump, so they're occupying some of the top spots. None of them dropped really, so they kind of did what Swissaus did in Peach Gardens, but we'll see how well that works out.
No box for a set for Mio. Looks like a lot of Swiss Austria. I think like 3 of them in the bottom 4 running. We're gonna see if they get trimmed through the double. Another mid box for Mio.
This is another all run, and what I find really interesting is that neither team are like sandbagging. They're just running right away, and yeah, it's if I were Swissaus, I would probably just have one bagger have like a 5 to 7 second break from the rest of the pack just to try to secure the shot.
Looks like a 1-3 for Swiss Austria with a pretty huge gap in the pack. No idea on Shock yet. The fact that it's all run is going to make it a little harder to find out which team has it. But obviously, Shock, this is definitely like one of the strongest Shock horses in the game, I'd imagine, just because the power of the star double chain lap 3 is just insane, just in general. So we're going to see what happens there. We had a single shroom in third for Mio, while second's taking Doc, so I would say... Oh, actually, they took double in second.
Yeah, triple shroom chain. I think he already had triple shrooms from I think maybe this set or the first set, pulling it in third. So yeah, we're gonna see Saru now in first. Actually, bit of a surprise there.
I'm surprised Mio didn't opt a single cut there, but he's ended up turning his greens forward. We'll see if he stopped the red. Oh no, he's really bumped.
That snipe attempt from Pascal almost connecting on Mio, but Mio was aware of that and hopped away last second. That could have been bad.
I would assume with a confident Swiss Austria that they are holding Shock.
I wonder how Franco was able to build such a lead from first. I think he might have drafted and then gotten a back spam off onto Saru. Shock coming in though. Hard to see whose it was. Well, one person from each team dodged.
We're gonna have a double from Mio. He's gonna get a second place chain. They're gonna be top 3, so it's gonna look pretty safe race for Swiss Austria, unless something happens at the end. Pascal shrooms up, probably a back right at the end. Spain doesn't connect on anybody, and that's a top 3 Swiss Austria.
Still top 3 nonetheless. Yeah, I'm gonna look back at the VOD though to see what exactly happened to Saru, because I know he was able to sneak up into first, but then like 10 seconds later he had a huge break from first. He was in second. I'm not sure what happened to him.
It looks like him and Franco just have that common like top 2 breakaway fight, and at the end Franco ended up backstabbing him at some point.
Yeah.
It was really good that Mio ended up stopping in that set and ended up getting the triple shroom. That's basically like the best chain he could have gotten at that set. So that was really good for him. I would assume that was Swiss Austria's shock just because both Pascal and Mio ended up slowing down a bit. It's pretty hard to predict that if that's just a shock. So plus 25 race for Swiss Austria, 184 to 121. Holding out a pretty large lead just after race 5. BCW coming out from Swiss Austria. Just an amazing track for top 3. You take all the boxes. Hard to shroom up, and you just easily break away at the start.
And I can confirm that Franco did end up sniping Saru right after the line going into lap 3. I'm not exactly sure what it was with, like with a fib or a green or something, but it might have been a red actually. But nonetheless, still good work from Franco to get Saru out of first there was really important, because had that not happened, you never know, Saru could have gotten a backspam onto Franco and then maybe a backspam onto Mio as well, and the shock situation would have been mainly to secure like a 2-3 or a 1-3 rather than a top 3.
This is a good track pick from Spain. If someone in the top 3 from Swiss Austria knows how to take Ultra and can just goes for like the TG play and ends up doing it from there, it can be pretty, but we'll see what happens. Mio ends up getting righted, gonna drop to 8th with that good, he's getting into 7th place box.
Yeah, and Spain again opting to go all run here, and this time, yeah, I think Swiss Austria were listening to the cast. Now they're having someone sandbag this time. That's the smart thing to do.
This is a pretty good course to all run on. Shock normally is just like damage control here, where you just prevent people from taking cut, but the pack gets so dispersed, it's not really, shocks don't really do as much. So this is a pretty good one. However, Swiss Austria is already top 2, 4, maybe 5, so not too good for them on Spain's side.
And a star and 4th for Mio here, which is really good, because if Spain end up pulling the shock in 9th for whatever reason, Mio could just hold this all the way until the very end and just kind of cancel out the dot, or just maybe chain in one of these sets to try to predict. I don't know.
I was going to say that I thought a bagging battle began because I saw, I think, Zach reversing. There he is, and then I saw a Daisy 9th, but the Daisy just did the classic, I'm going to go for double until I make it, because I'm probably and he didn't decide to bag at the end, and now he's just kind of going for it in 9th, but he's half a lap behind, so that's probably not good. I think that's a Spain player too, so. Right,
still a top 2, 4 coming out here. We're not seeing any backspams onto Frank there just yet. I would assume maybe eventually he will get backed. Blue coming in from Swiss Aus there, or from Spain onto Swiss Aus. Still a top 2, 4 though.
That blue was the way for Spain back into the race if Frank was going to be able to get in the combo, but it looks like he got hit by something on the straightaway instead.
If you're Frank here, would you risk going for Ultra or Shroomless? Because he's the only topmost spot, and if he fails, it's going to give Swiss Sauce like a top 2, 4 guaranteed almost.
I would say at this point you'd have to, but you'd have to go for Ultra. I don't know if he's lighting out right now. Normal cut is still blocked. That Spain player ended up using a Mega, and Mio's holding on to his star confidently, so I would say that... Swiss Austria is probably holding it. Franco was actually the one lighting up the Ultra.
Yeah, but if I were Swiss Austria, I would have shocked there anyway to try to prevent Spain from taking Cut or Ultra, but Spain didn't take Ultra regardless. Cut was already blocked. They weren't able to unblock, and none of them, I think, have the prowess to be able to take Ultra.
Oh! That's, looks like Pascal tried, maybe calling out a back green in the line, but
yeah, the blooper was in his face, and that's the one time where the blooper will actually affect you.
Oh, that's an unfortunate miscommunication. That's gonna lose them about 2 points, but still an amazing race. Looks like a top 2, 4.
4 points swing.
Back there, so they were just holding up bottom 2. So Spain really never had a chance for the shock. If I was me, I would have just used my star in the last straight anyways. There's no reason to hold on to it. I guess that's aside from clout.
Right, you can honestly even try to schlag 4th, just get him out and secure a top 4 potentially. But I don't think Mio was aware of the Spain spot there.
I believe that was a back green from second. It wasn't the snipe, unless I saw wrong.
Yeah, it was a back green. Sometimes if you're in second there, you just throw it off the wall, but I think it was a back green in that case.
Probably gonna go for another top spot course. Might go BCW or Moonview still. Really, that race was kind of decided from the lap 1 cut, especially without the fact that Franco ended up doing that thing with the Ultra, despite them not getting a better race out of it and being stuck in bottom 2, it completely prevented Spain from getting shock, and they really needed that because I don't think Spain has those Ultra players that can really catch up in laps 2 and 3 with Ultra. And the cut looked like the normal cut looked like it was blocked the whole time.
Yeah, it was double, triple blocked, and Spain weren't able to change the race around due to, like you said, the lack of power and being able to make Ultra there. But GCN Mario Circuit comes out heavily Dodge reliant track. Let's see if Spain can capitalize on that.
This is definitely what I would say one of the best all-running courses, for the simple fact that it kind of has specifically one really good dodge spot that you can play around. But Mia's going to pull Mega in the first set. Mega getting to first. Looks like Frank ended up getting a golden or triple trims, and he's going to sneak into first. You know if he got a change.
Right, but then you mentioned there's a really huge dodge spot, like right there on that grass cut, right before the chain chomp. Again, all running is effective here if the other team don't pull a shock, or if they do, you can work around it because there's only one real spot shock track. Good snipe there coming up from Mio. But I mean, that first set, it's pretty much the shock spot, and it's kind of easy to predict, but we'll see what happens here.
If you are able to hold those dodges and chain dodges on your team so the other team cannot use a shot that fully benefits them without any of the other team dodging, then it's good. I don't know if Saint's going to be able to coordinate that, but we'll see. Trying to see second. It might still be
I couldn't quite see, but Mio's not backing this. I'd say that Swiss Austria are in second, but I'd say if you're Mio here, just try to throw this fib away and try to chain to something else anyway, just in case that somehow something happens the second and God forbid a red comes at you.
Looking at the back, well, there's no shock here in the first set. We got a blue coming out from Mio, and they're going to cancel it. Looks like Franco and someone else.
Dmitry and someone else from the Franco did dodge in the middle of the pack, though, yeah.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 sauce here right now. Looking like if there's no blue from that second set, so I believe Dmitry has a pretty free first here. I believe Pascal got hit a little bit, so I don't know if it's still before.
Yeah, I would have to assume that was still a Swiss Aust shock though to cancel the blue.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Yeah, like I said, that first set very predictable there. It wasn't right at the first set, but I'd assume that Dmitry his star was running out in that case, and he was still able to dodge.
So Zach, who's normally bagging, ended up being the lead up there, but Pascal seemed to get destroyed by the shock, so it was just a 2, 3, 4, 7, 10 for Swiss Austria. So it's still going to be a winning race for them. And large deficit for Spain right now.
Kind of a dire situation for Spain. They're already 0-1. They were already 0-1 going into this match here, and if they lose this, it's pretty much sayonara for them in terms of their World Cup hopes. So, is there anything that Spain are doing wrong necessarily, or do you know if there's anything that you have to point out?
I mean, at this point, it just seems to be a lot of similarities to the Mex-Italy situation or their match versus Finland, where they're simply getting outran. And they've been going these courses like Peach Gardens and Delfino, which are good shot courses, and they're not completely runnable, but they're also hard to really get rid of top spots on. I'd say if you're Spain, you need to go these shorter courses which are a little bit more hectic to really just first top spots.
And they picked the opposite. Actually, no, this is Mario Raceway. I thought this was
Mario Raceway. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought this was RBC at first.
This is a good example. I think this one's a little more chaotic compared to something like a Shy Guy Beach or Luigi Circuit, but it's what you need to look for because this is something that's really hard to just run, and it's going to get them out of those top spots. So.
This is probably the most volatile track in the game due to how many shortcuts there are and how much time you can save from either dodging or just goldening.
I agree. I believe this is the best thing you play. And
Spain, for once, are in the front, but in the most volatile track in the game.
Yeah, this issue is that they might be on that slight high right now. It's oh, we're in the front, but Swiss Austria just having lots of experience on tracks like these bogies and stuff are going to be able to get the back.
You can never trust having top spots early in this track. I'd just say have one person schlag, but in this case, if you're Frank, You're only in 7th right now, so you're not going to be able to do that much damage besides just break up the bottom 2 a little bit more.
That is really good from Frank. Really good from Frank because he knows that these bottom spots are going to be holding dodges because they're pretty much guaranteed to shock right now because they're not sitting back there. However, what Frank needs to do is to get into like this 8th, 9th, and he needs to either be taking boxes, holding a dodge himself, or he needs to continue to hit these people out because right now Franco and Mio are just going to continue holding their dodges and going through like box sets. They're a little far behind right now though. They're in bottom 3, but it's right. Really.
And if they pull the shock here, they're just gonna have to go super early because even if they go, I mean, they can catch up after 2nd set because you can still take a lot of grass shortcuts in this case. But I still think 1st set would be ideal here, but they don't have shock yet.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say Zach just pulled a bill, so they might have shock for another like 5 seconds. Franco wasn't chaining much. I don't know if he got stuck with Blue. He didn't. So just Austria, if they get the shock right at the second, would be really good for them. But nothing so far. Both him and Franco in stars right now. They get getting Frank.
Yeah, power-redded there. No shock coming in for Swiss also. It's gonna look to me like a slightly winning race there.
Oh, I would say that looks like a really good race for Spain right there.
Did you actually catch what happened to what was his name again? That one player, Swanson. Did you catch what happened to Swanson? Did he get sniped?
I
couldn't quite see.
He was trying to take the little grass set in the last quarter, and he like just ran out of shroom power, and he had to verge back onto the course and just getting hit by the triple reds of one of the Spain players. So that is a winning race in Spain. They did not end up securing first, which isn't the best, but it's a winning race nonetheless. And if anything, despite not being a winning race, it should show them the type of course they should be picking. They really need to be picking these courses which are like unable to hard run and things that you can like outplay the enemy by just like taking advantage of the bottom spots and making sure the other team doesn't dodge. It was really the nail in the coffin. That race was simply just Swiss Austria somehow not getting shocked despite being bottom 3 the whole race. That's really important.
Yeah, Frank, the X factor of that race, just being able to schlag the bottom 2 spots. At first, I said that Frank was in a little bit too low of a spot to schlag effectively, but I actually rescind that statement because you even mentioned that they were holding dodges in that case, and they opted not to use their dodges. I'd say in that case, for Swiss Austria's bottom 2, just use your stars at that point, because even though it is a heavily dodge reliant track, you don't want to fall behind that far because a shock isn't a given. Even if you're 10th the whole race, there are times in which shocks are never pulled until like at lap 4. So at that point, you just got to use your stars and just try to get back up there instead of falling that far behind.
So this is good. It's good that Spain won their first race, though. I'm happy to see them get it back on track a little bit, because I'd imagine their morale has got to be a little diminished after that huge loss to Finland, like those first 7 races being really rough. Let's see. They're gonna end up going N64 Bowser's Castle, which I don't think is what you want to go, especially like if the other team is 1-3. Despite the spots not being amazing, I feel like you need to still go like those really hectic courses.
Yeah, and RBC is a very, very team-based track, and you have to make sure you get up to top spots early, because once you are in top spots, you can back spam around corners and just get an even more of a breakaway. You can schlag. It's just a really, really team-reliant track. Like, you have to work very well together in order to get a good breakaway. They're gonna have to get up early. They have to get up, get the drafts and whatnot. I don't think anybody from Spain does, though.
Yeah, it's really just these first sets, because they're going to be all running. You have to make sure you're like, you have to make sure you're not like sitting in the mid pack, just like, you know, having the other team run. You really have to just get up there is basically the thing. It's
yeah, but we did see a red coming out on one of the Swiss Aus players, so Spain are going to be occupying a little bit more of a frontal presence. Wide back Nana, though. Interesting idea there, but I think he backed out a little late.
It's an awkward shroom from Mio. He's not going to be able to gain much time. He's going to have to fight the trail of Frank, who seems to be trying to schlag. No avail.
Frank was a little too close on his screen to Mio, so that banana kind of just traveled behind Mio. A little bit of a lag situation there. Frank's still occupying first, though. I think it's a 1-3-4 for Spain right now.
Right now, Swiss Austria is 2-3. I believe it's 1-4, though, or something like
1-4, yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure who was third in that case.
But really, the thing to look at is his top 3 break, and really going to see if
and if you're Frank, it's a little bit of an iffy. Oh, he backs that fib early. I was gonna say Frank he only has one item at a time, so you want to get Mio out of second, but at the same time you want to protect yourself just in case you mix a back spam and a red comes at you. So Frank is just kind of playing it safe, but he did back that fib right away because if you pull a fib and have no other protection, usually it's best to ninja fib it.
Didn't know what's happening with a shock right now because it seems to be they're all running race. Battle 54, you can do a shock on like the first set. Really any of like the first 3 sets. It's got like a lot of diversity with your shock spots.
I don't like that nana usage from Mio. Kind of spams all 3 of his nanas on the same direction. Like if it doesn't connect, it's okay. That's a good ninja fib from Frank.
It's sometimes really hard to align. If you're using wheel especially, it's hard to align those snipes perfectly.
Right, but what I was saying was he threw all 3 of those nanas on the same line. So if Frank predicts it, he's not going to get hit by any of the nanas. It wasn't like a shotgun spread or anything.
Extremely split up pack right now. I don't know if the person in last seems to be Sherbing. Don't know if anybody has shock yet. I believe if there was going to be a shock, there would be one like this set right here, but nothing so far. Oh, there we go. Trying to see who dodged. Can't really see right now. But it looks like a 2-3 for Swiss Austria right now, except the person who dodged is running up to third.
Yeah, I did TS Frank, but of course you get the good respawn, and you the only real way that TS even affects first is if he misses the startup boost. But...
That's a 1-4-5 for Spain. 1-4-5, maybe 9th?
They have to get more than just 1-4-5 in this case, though. Yeah, 1-4-5.
Small wins for Spain, but good nonetheless, especially on a course like this, which is hard running. I'm glad that Frank was able to have that front presence, which they really needed.
Yeah, it was good work from Frank to be able to fend off Mio for a while, because he only had one item at a time. And like I said, he did have that danger of being redded or sniped after using his one item that he had. He opted to hold his protection until he got to the next set, but then when he pulled the fibs, he opted to back it right away. The first time he backed the fib right away, didn't connect, but the second time did.
Well, two races of wins for Spain, but only amounting to a +8 in both of them. Like you said, they really are going to need more than that. I believe they're at a -71 deficit right now. So if they lose this next race by, I believe, 12, they will mathematically be out of it, and we cannot channel the power of the FW mat behind the lounge.
They're gonna have to pull out all the stops here, and I think MC3 is not a bad option, but only one of them picks it. I think the other one is
I'm gonna say that's my German. Oh well, we got B2 anyways. Caster's Curse. So this is gonna be good for Frank because it's really easy. It's a really good course for first. However, if 2-3 can overwhelm him, they can end up just getting a breakaway. Don't know the glitch stats of any of the players. There's one Daisy in here, Franco. Don't know how consistent he is at it.
I don't know about Franco. I think Pascal knows how to make it.
Franco, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I think Pascal knows how to make it, but he's not super consistent at it. And 2 reds coming out from Mio.
Yeah, that just happens sometimes. Looks like a top 2 for Swiss Austria. Yeah, if Franco is a consistent glitch taker, because I see him on Daisy, that's why I pointed out, that's going to be really good for Swiss Austria.
He did go right pass, so I think he may be aligning for it. We'll see, though. Didn't go for it.
Nope.
Yeah, it looks to me like Swanson. Yeah, Swanson gets the draft on Mio, so it's going to be a top 2 here for Swiss Aust. I'd like to see some double backs. If you're Swanson here, if you have a Nana or Fib, just back it tight on one of the corners, and then you could have Mio just back spam wide in this case.
An array of back spam from Mio on that ramp. It's really annoying to dodge stuff on that ramp because he's going to continue backing all of his items in these corners, probably just chaining, trying to get everything.
And a POW coming in. I think that was from Swiss Aust though, because in those corners it's really hard to readjust and avoid the POW.
Yeah, that
but
was really good. That was Swiss Austria's.
yeah, fourth got partially killed, but third was able to recover. I'm not sure what happened to Swanson there. I think he just failed and fell off, possibly.
Trying to look at the shock status, I would imagine that Zach in
No, he
last.
didn't fall off.
Despite this being sort of an all-running war, Zach is definitely trying to keep himself in last the longest.
Yes.
Blue out for Mio. Hopefully he doesn't catch his teammate in it.
Yeah, so Swanson didn't fall off, but I think he either hit like one of the fireballs on the ramps or he didn't get the boost or something along those lines. But it's going to be a 1-4 for Swiss Sauce. Spain are starting to regain some of those top spots. 2-4 for Spain now.
There's a TC for one of the Spain members.
Or two, I'm sorry, just a second. 2-3, I mean.
Oh, that's definitely, I would say it's Swiss Austria with two of them dodging and Dmitry and Spain dodging.
But it does TS, it does dodge one of Spain and TS is one of Swiss Sauce, so I'm not sure. It was a bit of an iffy shock if it was their shock.
Oh, I saw one person going for glitch. I'm not sure if he made it or not. I believe Franco did not make it.
No, I don't think he did.
Trying to see the spots. I believe that's it's close up there. Cannot see
it was like a 2-3 or 2-4 for Spain, but getting 6, 7, 8 is not what you want if you're Spain.
Yeah. Oh, and it seems they a lot of mess, a huge mess of the line from a lot of players.
Yeah, it wasn't a good finish for Mio there, but luckily for him, the team still were able to pull it out in the end. Top 2-4 for Swiss Sauce there.
That top 2-4 is going to close out the war in terms of being mathematically winnable for Spain anymore. I believe 2 top 5s will not cut. 2 top 5s is a plus 82, and they are down 84 right now. So they're hopefully they don't completely mess around. They can try to repair that plus minus, but I don't know.
Right, and there aren't any troll pens from what we see either, so I think that will be a clutch out win.
I don't know the exact. I don't know if a 0-2 means that they are completely out at this point in terms of the play-in, but I'm going to see if Spain tries to still just repair the plus minus just to repair it or not.
Yeah, play for pride here if you're Spain. You don't want to go out with a whimper, you know. But I think in this case, what are the tracks? Damn it.
Wow, Wario's Goldmine really is just Wario's Goldmine.
Wario's Goldmine, and then I think it's Dry Ruins.
Oh yeah, okay. We're learning German here on stream,
Moonview Highway from Franco and Pascal here. German 101 with Jaggy and Psych. Waluigi Stadium, I think. I don't know if that is.
Spain is not completely out.
No,
I wasn't cheerfully. Spain is not completely out of the play-in. Desert Hill's coming out, so these are like this is an example of a course that I wish that Spain had picked earlier on in the match, because this is another really hectic one, like on like the level of Raceway. I'd say it's like
right. They had the right idea with Raceway, considering that they were being down by that much and they needed something to change. But then they picked RBC. They did get 1-4-5 in that case, but it just wasn't a track where it's. I mean, it's not an all-run track really. Because like 2 shocks, maybe even 3 can happen if the person in last just keeps chaining them at 30 seconds every time. But they still ended up getting a 1-4-5 out of that. And in this case, yeah, it is a very volatile track, but so far Swiss Sauce getting the better of the items here. Golden for Mio going all the way up to second.
Top 2 for Swiss Austria, but on this track, you can see how tight the pack is right now. That might not mean much, and the shock at the end just being so strong. I would imagine that's also Swiss Austria in bottom 2. I've seen a lot of Franco sitting. Franco has definitely been taking up a lot of like the 8-9s and like taking advantage of Zach's shocks. Well, Zach is he's parked himself in last, just trying for the shock. And the fact that Franco has been able to park himself back there so much without any repercussion is really been a lot of downfall for Spain. They really have to, if they're going running, they have to make sure that Franco was either not pulling these shocks in 9th, or that he's going to not be able to hold on to these dodges and freely get away with them the whole time.
Right, and that was a little bit of an unfortunate situation there for Mio, but yeah, I've seen Spain in some races not dropping whenever they need to, and I just feel like that may be a lack of experience with all run.
Does not seem to be any shock from Swiss Austria. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is. Half the room dodging.
Yeah, I saw 234 out from Spain right there before the shock, but I was like, I believed that. Oh, yeah.
I know
That's not gonna be a good
one of Spain dodged there, but I think it might have been two Swiss offs. I couldn't quite see.
Yep, 1356. I saw Spain 234 there, and I was like hoping there right at the end that Swiss Austria never ended up pulling the shock, and they were gonna maybe able to cheese out at the end, but to no avail.
Yeah, so even in Desert Hills, Spain weren't able to get on top there. So yeah, last race coming up for this particular match. In terms of the other matches that we have, do you know what time the next match is going to be?
Leave. I'm going.
2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So that one will be, it'll be Swiss Aus again. We'll see him yet again play against Finland. So assuming that there are no troll penalties, God forbid, they're both going to be 1-0 going into that match. So that should be a very interesting one.
Well, they would need a barrage of penalties to get this one. They're minus 92 right now. They need a lot, or they need Swiss Austria to really mess around this race. And I believe this was a Moonview pick. So there's let me make sure I'm right with this. Yeah, there's no glitches on Moonview for them to completely throw their lead on if they felt like it. But Swiss Austria Finland is going to be a pretty interesting match.
I think that's going to be actually very evenly matched. I'm interested to see what happens there. In terms of this race, though, let's get back into it real quick. Right away, we do see Aleeex in second. Maybe he could try to break the top spot. I was gonna say maybe we could see the exchange there, but Mio gets hit out. We couldn't quite see.
And Mio's gonna probably chain the star, I would imagine. I don't see what's actually he would chain here, but
just based on the minimap, I still think. Oh, Pascal lost first. I think that might have been a snipe from Aleeex there. But actually, no. Aleeex actually got into first, but then got sniped by Pascal.
Despite this being the last race I have such a lead, Zach is still just gonna opt to like sit in last. He's doing a good. I really am glad. Shoutouts to Zach for this one, for despite Spain all running, he has chosen to like run with the pack for a lot of the races.
Yeah.
At the end, if he needs to just cycle through rocks instead of the set. I'm glad that he's been like running with the pack rather than completely opting himself.
Right. Running with the pack can be risky if the person in ninth, let's say the person in ninth gets TC'd, and then as he grows, he just all of a sudden makes a beeline for going backwards. That could be the only risk, but rarely does that ever happen when a team is so adamant in going all run. So yeah, I like what Zach was doing, getting all the shots, but being able to stay with the pack and cheese a couple spots at the end. And that's actually something that we may see in the group stages, Latin America versus Denmark. I think Denmark, according to my sources, they were thinking about going all run, so that could be something to look at.
And via dodge from second out of Mio, it looks like he's going to try to chase Pascal for those cloud endivs. Don't know if he's going to be able to get him with the boost panels, we'll see. Spain was actually in first there for a little bit in the race, but he ended up getting blued. I believe it was Saru who's in first.
And he's going to stop on the line. Is this a top 3? No, top 2.
Going for a bit of a
just showing off there.
Small style play there at the end. I respect it. Inflating Pascal and divs.
Not a bad showing there from Swiss Aus. There were a couple of shaky moments for Mio in terms of individual plays, but for the most part, overall, the team did fairly well, and this was expected.
Okay, at least Spain ended on a winning race by 1.
And so interesting that Dmitry, who was subbing in as a